Hello, everyone here in wrestling world. Before I get started on my show, I want to show you this.
The position is there. Two rival promotions on two different television networks going mano a mano here. And Rebellion and Swan misses with the Phoenix Blast. No H2.
Another one?
And Omega has it.
Oh my God. King Sasha! All right. Or the Boombaye, whatever you want to call it. Finito. Finito. Uno. Dos. Tres. That's it. No one kicks out of the One Ring Angel except for Heyman Adam Page. I am calling it right now.
You can't spell Omega without OMG and Matt. Oh my God, what did we just see? Dr. Moore's face tells you everything. What we just saw is history, and what we're seeing is the Impact Unified title walking out the door. I literally had a loss for words right now. I can't believe what I just saw.
I'm done with Impact straight up. I think AEW's done with Impact for all I'd say. But I don't know. Can you honestly be done here? Can you honestly be done here with Impact, in my honest opinion?
Hard-hitting affair. It was uncomfortable to watch in the final minutes with all the plethora of V-triggers scrambling the brains of Rich Swann. I mean, you have to think about Rich Swann, the man. Yes, the athlete, but take nothing away from the pictures on your screen.
Look at the belt. What a moment, wasn't it? Great moment indeed. That's right, last Sunday night at Impact Rebellion in a stream that I put on Facebook Live were 172 viewers. That's right, 172 viewers witnessed, alongside with me, history in the making, in which Kenny Omega is now the AAA Heavyweight Champion, the AEW Champion, and now the current TNA Impact Champion of the world. So the question on everyone's mind is, where do we go from here? And that is why I am here to find out. This is GUNHILLBAIN in the building with another wrestling expose. Kenny Omega and where he goes from here now that he is the TNA Impact World Champion. But first, like and subscribe. GUNHILLBAIN in the building. Catch me on YouTube. Catch me on Twitch. I'm going to be doing some streamings on D Live very soon, so be on the lookout for that one. And let's get right to it. So, Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, the 7-star extravaganza, Gotch, Hogan, Austin, Rock, Omega. It pisses a lot of people because I know they don't like Kenny Omega. They don't like his style of wrestling. They don't even like his personality. And I'm talking about people who are part of the cult of Cornette. Oops, I don't even know if I should say that. You know, I mean, the screaming man from Kentucky. Let's just say that, right? And all facts considered, do you know how much money Kenny Omega has made for Impact Wrestling? Tons, right? TNA has always been the wrestling organization that can never seem to die, right? And before this whole storyline came about, no one really gives that much shit about Impact Wrestling except for the hardcore people that were there. Alongside Kenny Omega, and he challenged for the TNA title, and it was a foregone conclusion what was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. And still, it happened. And it's like, holy shit, I can't believe that this happened. So there you go. Kenny Omega is the TNA Impact World Champion. He now has the Mexican AAA Lucha Libre Championship. He now currently has the AEW Championship. And now TNA and Impact. So now, where do we go from here? Who are the challengers who are ready to step up to the plate and go after Omega for those titles? And who, pray tell, would Kenny Omega want to challenge for the championship, right? So let's run down a few participants, current title holders in their own right, and see if we can figure out where we go from here. First up on this list, Whoosh, the current ROH heavyweight champion. He hasn't defended that title since February of last year. Pandemic-wise, we get that, but eventually there has to come a point where ROH and AEW will have to have a collision course per se, right? Will it be interesting? Well, in all things considered, for ROH, this will be a huge buzz on their part, really. I mean, except for the internet, showings, how often can people get to see ROH if they don't have stadium, right? And since they're bouncing back and forth between networks, it's really kind of hard to see where you can actually find ROH. I feel that they're a very solid wrestling organization. But to add Kenny Omega there to take on Whoosh for the ROH title, that's money. And ROH knows it. And they know they could sure as hell get the rub. Just like with Impact Wrestling and how the pay-per-view sales went up because of Kenny Omega, it will go up substantially for ROH, especially when you put in the headline, Kenny Omega versus Rush. Now, I, for one, think that, it could have been another ROH champion that could have been a better headline for Kenny Omega, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know what else is out there. I mean, other than Jay Lethal, I don't really know what will be a more compelling event, to face Kenny Omega. It would have been great if Marty Scurll, and Marty Scurll was the ROH champion and challenges Kenny Omega for it, that would have sold so much. Just the storyline from being the Elite and everything that happened with them in Bullet Club in Japan till now, that would have been huge for ROH as a whole. But unfortunately for Marty Scurll, he has to drop the ball with these allegations, which I will never mention there. You want to look somewhere else, you may, but he's under fire, and it puts a black stain into ROH, and now this is exactly what we have here. So this could be a great match. I could see Kenny Omega getting another notch on his gauntlet, per se, and getting the ROH title. And that will work substantially for ROH. That could make so much money off of him. But who else could be in the fray, right? Jacob Fatu, leader of Contra and the current Major League Wrestling, the current MLW heavyweight champion. Now this is a very intriguing matchup because you got two badasses, right? And Jacob Fatu, you can't get any more badass than him. He has been holding that title for God knows how long. And you know what? He is one of the sole reasons why MLW is what it is today. Him and filthy Tom Lawler, of course. And this Saturday, MLW is going to have their own televised show on Vice Network. So now they have a major network they can be able to showcase their talents. How fitting that is, that as soon as Kenny Omega becomes the new Impact World Champion, MLW inked on the deal with Vice Network, and now they're going to be shown starting this Saturday afternoon. Right? I like it. I like it. I love it. I feel that it's going to be a big, big event in all intents and purposes, right? Kenny Omega versus Jacob Fatu will be the match that everyone would love to see, especially for a lot of, Kenny Omega haters out there. They would love to see Kenny Omega get punished completely by Jacob Fatu and to take away that AEW title off his hands. All right? And I, for one, would love to see that. And it will be money, and it will sell a lot of tickets, and it will put a lot of viewers into the MLW product as a whole. So whoever is running MLW, I would highly suggest thinking of a crossover between you guys and AEW and seeing how it will go for you guys, right? So that'll be great. Another one. Will Ospreay, the Commonwealth Kingpin and the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Kota Ibushi, which, by the way, is also Kenny Omega's very best friend in the whole wide world, defeating him at Sakura Genesis this past month. And I know that New Japan may have their issues between Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and everyone else involved from that side of the Bullet Club who just left New Japan altogether high and dry and created their own company from scratch. But come on here. This is a big opportunity here. You got a great talker in terms of Will Ospreay representing New Japan, going up against the black horse, per se, of New Japan here. The man who actually put New Japan on the map, Kenny Omega. You want to appeal to the American audiences. What better way to do that than for these guys to throw down on it? And I know Will Ospreay would love the opportunity to face on it. But there's also another thing, right? Will Ospreay will have to defend his title against Shingo Takagi at Wrestling Dontaku very soon, in which I expect Ospreay will win. And then after that, he faces Okada. First ever Tokyo Dome pay-per-view in the summer in New Japan. And who knows, they may probably give the title to Okada, and then where do you go from here, right? Where do you go from here? Could we see an Okada versus Omega 5, but this time on an AEW pay-per-view, maybe as soon as All Out per se, where there could possibly be fans in the arena? That is a huge possibility. And you know, every time that Okada and Omega step into the ring, it's always a big deal. It's always a global international event. And people want to see that. And on all intents and purposes, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I want to see. So maybe this is the time that we should actually let that happen. But we don't know. We got to find out, right? And then we come to the final person in this gauntlet, in this takeover of titles. Nick Aldis, the current NWA Heavyweight Champion. He has been the one person that a lot of people have been talking about will never even waste his time defending his title against. A lot of the people who defends Nick Aldis, they're saying he is the NWA champion. He will never waste his time going up against a nobody like Omega. He's bigger than that. He is the real world's champion. Really, he's the real world's champion? At least 3 of these individuals have defended their title once. At least once, right? And Nick Aldis, for all intents and purposes, hasn't even defended the title since when? Exactly. Who was his last competitor? Marty Scurll? Before that, was it Tim Storm, a 56-year-old man? Huh? Who hasn't he beaten that is worthy enough of being called an NWA champion in all rights and purposes? Now, I get it. The NWA championship is the most oldest and prestigious belt in existence. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's an outdated belt in which the man of Kentucky has pleaded for years and years that is better than anyone else out there. Well, listen, Mr. Man from Kentucky. No one gives a shit. I don't. I'm talking about the now. I'm talking about the present. And the fact of the matter is this. You people on Facebook, on YouTube, on Bleacher Report, all you people who are bashing the fact that Nick Aldis can just go on and whoop Kenny's ass and take the title from him easily and wouldn't want to waste his time with him. You know what? Why won't Nick Aldis sign on the dotted line and make it happen? In my honest opinion, Nick Aldis versus Kenny Omega should happen. And it must happen. It's about damn time that the NWA Championship gets defended on national television in a huge platform. And what better platform than to do that on AEW, right? Thunder Rosa has the balls to come over to AEW and defend the NWA Championship. She lost it, but you know what? She put her heart, her soul, her passion in that ring. And you mean to tell me that Nick Aldis is bigger than that? You? Bigger than that? Let me tell you something, Mr. Aldis. I think you're a pussy. That's what I think. And anyone who defends otherwise, they're pussies as well. And I'm not afraid to admit that. Now, if you're not a kitty cat, sir, then put on your big boy pants, go over to AEW and demand that you will challenge Kenny Omega to a one-on-one match with the AEW Championship and ROH Championships. It's on ROH. I meant NWA Championships on the line. Unless you are a chicken, or unless you need to have your wife, Mickie James, vouch for you. The same Mickie James who had her gear stuffed into a trash bag from the people from Stamford, Connecticut. That same people, right? I don't want to see that. So here are all the current champions right now that could challenge Kenny Omega for it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What happened? You know, do you agree with me on this? Do you disagree on this? I would like to know in the comments below. And once again, subscribe, like and subscribe to GUNHILLBAIN in the building. I am on Twitch. I am on Instagram. I am on YouTube. And I'm also around on Facebook if you can know how to find me. And I got some big updates for you guys real soon, so stay tuned. But for now, this is GUNHILLBAIN in the building signing off. See ya.